What's up, Twins fans? We're in kind of the cold of winter in terms of the free agent market right now. Things really haven't started to pick up completely, although some moves have been made. So let's just do a really quick hit. Let's get up to date here on a handful of major Twins topics at hand, including we're going to discuss a couple Max Kepler trade ideas in a moment here. But first off, Carlos Correa, basically anything has got to start with this guy until he moves. It's reported that 8 teams are interested in Carlos Correa, according to John Heyman, but that the Twins are expected to go hard, whatever that means. Of course, I mean, we've been hearing that for a while, though, that the Twins are very serious contenders. They've made very numerous, very concrete offers to Carlos Correa. My take on this situation is that Aaron Judge is going to get signed first. The reason why we haven't seen a lot of movement in the position player market in particular is because I think Aaron Judge is going to be the first domino to go there. If you think about it, the teams that miss out on Aaron Judge are more than likely going to pivot to the shortstop market. So it makes sense for those guys to be waiting for Judge to sign to see if maybe some new options open up. Wouldn't be the best thing on their part to go after that. Now, what does that mean? How much more longer do we have to wait for Aaron Judge? Might not be long because the winter meetings are starting up tomorrow, actually. And, that's big because all the teams will have representatives there, in-person meeting, talking about deals. Maybe Aaron Judge signs, maybe some big trades go down. But in addition to that, there's some big items on the calendar during the winter meetings, including on Tuesday is the MLB Draft Lottery, the first ever MLB Draft Lottery. And there you see the Twins have the 13th highest odds of getting the number 1 overall pick, less than 1% odds. So, it's not high odds of the Twins getting that, but it's kind of a fun thing, brand new. Again, we'll see how they do it. Should be interesting. And then on Wednesday is the Rule 5 draft. So those are the things that we know are going to happen at the winter meetings. But of course, there's going to be so much talk and signings and transactions that go on. Number 3 is the buy it now prices that teams are paying. Again, I mentioned that the pitching market is moving a little bit more. You see here, Jacob deGrom signed with the Texas Rangers. Zach Eflin signed with Tampa Bay. Mike Clevenger signed with the White Sox. There's been other moves, and a lot of people have been surprised at the prices so far, and I would include myself in that. But one thing I want to say is that this doesn't necessarily mean the whole pitching market is going to be way up. These are the buy it now prices is what I'm kind of viewing it as. On eBay, you're looking at an item. You can either buy it now for a higher price or bid on it in an auction and hopefully get it for cheaper than that price. This early in the offseason with this many options on the market, I think these teams are paying the buy it now price, and they're just getting guys that they want and not really being too concerned about it. This Jacob deGrom, I think, is 34, 35 years old. That is a hefty price that the Rangers paid. I think Zach Eflin got pretty well paid by Tampa Bay, of all people, too. This just is not the way the Twins are going to operate under Derek Falvey. They are going to be the guys at the back kind of picking up the pieces, getting, maximizing the budget that they have. It's not at all surprising to me. And another thing, too, is the guys that have signed, when I talked about free agent targets, none of these guys were really super on my radar. It's guys like Carlos Rodon, Chris Bassett, Nathan Eovaldi, to a lesser extent, Kota Senga. I don't know. I haven't seen anything with the Twins connected to him, but I think he's kind of an interesting name to keep an eye on coming out of Japan. So, again, just because these prices are pretty high doesn't mean that's going to maintain all the way through. So, topic 4, we are to the Max Kepler topic. A couple of trade ideas were thrown out there that I wanted to just real quick talk about. The top one there you see was a comment on the channel here from Michael asking, would Gleyber Torres make sense as a target? And I thought this was interesting, maybe not specifically to Gleyber Torres because I don't think he's a shortstop anymore. That's where he would have to fit on the Twins. So I'm not sure that he makes a lot of sense. But that's sort of a type of name that I think you got to consider. As you see here, there's another idea down here for Herman Marquez. I want to talk about that more in a second. But I think that's sort of the mentality that you need to bring to potential Max Kepler trades is who is the Max Kepler of the Yankees? Or who is the Max Kepler of the Rockies? Who is sort of a guy whose career has faded a bit in recent years and maybe that team is a little bit fed up with that guy, and they're looking for a change of scenery. So I'm more interested in these types of names that are included in these deals, and how those came to be than maybe the deals in particular. Again, with Gleyber Torres, I'm not sure he's a shortstop, so that if he's only a second baseman, the Twins are pretty well covered there. With Marquez, I just don't know that the Rockies are going to be. They're so protective of their pitching, I feel like, because it's impossible to get anybody to sign there with good reason. I mean, if you're a starting pitcher, why in the world, or a reliever for that matter, why in the world are you going to sign with the Rockies? So I think, I'm not sure how interested they are in trading him. But I want to mention, again, the top comments from Michael. Michael, thanks for the comment on the channel. This bottom idea is coming from a new YouTube channel called Talkin' Twins Baseball here. I want you to go check them out, publishing on a fairly regular basis. This is a creator who clearly has some editing skills, and it's very buttoned up, very much less conversational than this channel, which is good. And actually, this video, I'll put a link down in the description of that video. Lots of trade ideas, lots of names that I wouldn't have considered, even some prospect names that aren't really on my radar. So I'm excited when I see new Twins content here on YouTube, and it's people that do things maybe a little bit differently and or have some different approaches to things. I think it's great. I think it's a rising tide lifts all ships type of thing, or whatever that saying is. So go check them out, and if you like it, definitely subscribe. And if you're enjoying this video, I should probably be plugging my own stuff. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. Last topic, and this is maybe one of the bigger ones, if we break it all down, is Joe Pohlad. I just don't have a whole lot to say on this side, because this is going to be a wait-and-see type of thing. Joe Pohlad is now the day-to-day, basically, owner of the Twins, the guy who handles the day-to-day things. Derek Falvey and Dave St. Peter are reporting directly to this guy now. Jim Pohlad is still, they're putting it, the official control person, is how I saw it put. So Jim is not going away. I did find the announcement for this change a bit surprising, and the way it was worded was effective immediately, which kind of, I think a lot of people have said that it's sort of a natural thing that Joe Pohlad sort of been being groomed for this in a way, but it just, from the outside looking in, it seemed pretty abrupt. So I don't know, hopefully Jim is in good health. I'd assume, since he's maintaining official control, that he would be. But this did strike me as a bit of a surprise. Joe is Jim's nephew. He has been in the organization for quite a while, 40 years old. Here he is at the new, that's a photo of him at the new jersey unveiling at the Mall of America. His most recent position was Executive Vice President of Brand Strategy / Growth, and he has been that for the last 4 years. So it's not like he's had any kind of necessarily a baseball role, I guess. Well, when I think of brand strategy and growth, he's more of the business side, which I think, let's circle back to Jim Pohlad. A couple things on him that I appreciate, I guess, are that I think he been a much better upfront owner than Carl Pohlad was, especially in his later years. I think the transition from Carl Pohlad to Jim Pohlad has been a good development for the Minnesota Twins. We're not jumping through hoops or anything. I don't think anybody's super satisfied with how things are going, but I think, again, things are going a lot better than the late era of Carl Pohlad. That's for sure. And number two, a lot of people don't like the fact that Jim Pohlad wasn't really a baseball guy. I personally kind of appreciate that to some degree from an ownership. I don't know that it's really great for ownership to be getting their hands dirty in baseball operations decisions. It depends on the guy. If it's somebody who knows a lot about baseball, maybe that can work out really well. With Joe Pohlad, it sounds like he might be more hands-on. We'll see whether that's good or bad. We'll see. But I don't know. I don't know. Do we think the brand strategy and growth has been on a good trajectory the past 4 years? I don't know that I would say so. Not to say that, that's all Joe Pohlad's fault, but it's certainly a wait and see. Again, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of analysis to put out there on this, but it is a huge topic in terms of the Twins. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you enjoyed it, please like and or subscribe. Here are the channel members. Thank you all so much. Or here are the premium members. Thank you to all the channel members for supporting the channel, giving some previews on some minor league prospect content that I'm working on for you guys. So if you're a channel member and you haven't checked that out yet, those are some new members only content out there. We will talk again soon.